Proposition, a lot of proposal for the people of Guinea in terms of health, education, infrastructures, and what Guinea do we want for tomorrow? I think that
talking of that though, sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah. Talking of that though, your president here, Mr. Diallo, he was in power before, i.e. he was a former prime minister and he was the minister of transport. Most people sometimes argue that these are just birds of the same feather who has been in government before, and the time he was in government he didn't do nothing. So my point here, what kind of guarantee do you think Guineans do have here to believe Mr. Diallo that when he becomes a president he will do better?
So it's very important to mention that there has been a lot of audit which has been done to incriminate Cellou Diallo, but this kind of audit don't reveal anything of tangible. It was a very interesting point because Cellou Diallo is the only adversary who creates a lot of fear for Alpha Condé. So they did a lot of things to destabilize the party, a lot of things to put, how can I say that, to call into question his reputation. But there's no evidence that there's been a mismanagement from Cellou Diallo. That's a very important point. And it did a lot for this country. We all know that on Alpha Condé there was a kind of organization against him because he was very committed to fight against bad governance, and he did a lot of. It was not interesting for the interest of those who want to maintain their privileges. So Cellou Diallo fought against that. Is a very interesting background in terms of infrastructures. If you look at what we call le pont sur la Fatala, the bridge on the Fatala resists compared to the new infrastructures created by the current Minister of Transport. So there's a lot of beautiful things, and we cannot. It's important to mention the patriotism, It's very important to mention that Cellou Diallo is a great patriot. He really loves Guinea, and I think that the most important thing, which made I decided to join him because I was teaching in Sciences Po Paris. I had a better condition of life, a better salary, but I decided to join him because I know that he's a man who doesn't admit any injustice, and I think that it's the common ground for us. It's a common denominator of the fact to say, okay, it's important for us to have social justice, to have rule of law, to have democracy, and to make that Guinean can be equal. It's about equalities, regardless the region, regardless where you come from. It's very important for us to be in a big union, and only union can save us, because with mondialization we cannot, it's impossible for us to be divided. When we are divided, Alpha Condé will be very strong, and Alpha Condé will continue his bad governance on the ground of our division. That's why it's important for us to stand up together and to say, yeah, no, it's enough now.
Talking of that though, what can you say to critics who thinks the EFDJ party is a one ethnic party, i.e. 95% of the people who are in the party are all from one community or one ethnic tribe, that is the Fulani community?
You know, this is a very common and traditional criticism which is not verified at all, because when you look at the composition of the national direction, you can see a lot of vice presidents like Fodé Oussou, like Kalemoudou Yansane, like Alain Touré. And one thing is very important to mention: when you have a look at our statute, the composition of our statute, it's mentioned that we cannot put in place, we cannot implement a bureau or a federation without checking if all the natural regions are represented. So I think that it just to destabilize, to how can I say that, to call into question our credit, and this is not verified at all.
Yes, I'm so proud, and as well as a leader of the Guinean community of Birmingham, to be chosen one of the city to host that big event. So we are so thankful to all the Guinean community in the UK, particularly to the Federal of the UK, having been choosing our city to be the host this time.
Many people turned up from across the UK. There were hundreds of people here, and we've heard what the president has promised. He's promised he will fight corruption and that kind of thing. Come 2020, do believe he's going to be able to fulfill all those promises?
After looking all the past, because he been a minister first, he been a minister of transport. So what he did, he achieved at that time. We believe he will do better than what he done before. And as a prime minister, he did prove that he can unite the country, and also his program of society express everything on it. So equal opportunity for everybody, for all Guinean in and out of the country. They will all be equal, and everybody will benefit of the resources of Guinea.
Talking of that though, for you, what should be his priority?
His priority, I think, should be first uniting the Guinean people, because that is one of the major things which is broken the country. The society is already broken. So he needs to unite first the country, and also improve the infrastructure like road, everything, I think. But his first priority will be to unite Guinea.
Just a final one from me. What would be your message to all Guineans today across the UK?
My message to all Guineans across the UK is first to unite behind of this party, EFDG. Secondly, is to help financially and give even advice, because you can be here, but you can help back home, calling people in terms of voting, instructed them how can they vote and to help. So the party to win in 2020. That's my final message.
I think you can see how the situation went from the beginning to the end. The dynamic of the UFDG people in the UK. I think they try a lot to give a trust, but as you know, a politician is gonna fulfill his promises. Maybe yes, because the Guinean people, I think, need this trust from him.
There are so many questions raised here regarding the priorities of the country, looking at some of the issues that are in Guinea. Some were talking about electricity, some were talking about people living in an influx manner to go to other parts of the world. What do you think should be his priority if he becomes the president?
I think his main priority gonna be first to fight corruption. In my opinion, in Guinea, to solve the problem of the Guinean, the first is to solve the corruption side, because the corruption is just like a cancer. It's killing all the constitution things in the government. So my opinion, I think he needs to fight corruption first.
Talking of corruption though, there is also another problem in Guinea, which is like corruption, because there are so many ethnicities in the country. But having said that, they're not united. And many people are saying that is a time bomb. What's your take on that?
As he said, he's going to fight hard to make all Guineans be one, to unite all Guineans. I think he got a big job to do in his mandate, and I believe if he's been elected in 2020 to become a president, I trust him a bit. But as you know, a politician is hard to trust. But at the moment, his first priority to say he's going to fight that to unite all Guinean people.
In terms of the body language, from what you've seen here, what will you say, the body language, what was it like to you?
I think he believes himself. He's going to do it. He's going to do it? I don't know. But in his body language, he's really trying to convince all the Guineans to support him to become as a president of Guinea.
You know what happened back in 2010, then 2015. Do you fear similar things might happen again?
It might be, but as you know, this time is the last time of Mr. Alpha Conde in power. I believe if he tries to change the constitution, and things will go the other way around, because I can see all the Guineans standing together, trying to fight that third mandate from Mr. Alpha Conde.
Mr. Alpha Conde used to be one of those people fighting for democracy in Guinea, trying to preach about democracy. Talking of what you mentioned about the third term thing, that is just a rumor. He's not made that clear yet. Is there any significance in that?
Yes, I believe, because there are so many of his ministers trying to corrupt people to support them in that to say they want another third term. I believe Mr. Alpha Conde is trying to still, as I said, corrupt the people to support him in that, but I don't think if the Guineans believe him anymore, he can't.
So what would be your message to all Guineans today and those who are in the UK and other parts of the world?
My message is going to be, I will ask all Guineans to unite. A part of the politics, to unite as one. Let them know politicians, they will come today and tomorrow they will be going. They will be gone. So I think before fighting each other, they need to unite to know what their dream will be tomorrow.
So alhamdulillah, this event has gone well. Everyone's happy. So all what we're wishing for now is for this future leader to gain his position for the next year election 2020, so he can be the president of Guinea and president for all, to bring changes for all Guineans.
Do you trust him?
Of course I trust him. For the fact I know him for so long, and the way he has explained himself to people, I've seen much improvement and I've seen more hope for the future.
From what you've seen today, his body language, do you think he's a leader?
Yeah, I think he's a leader. I can see the charisma on him, and I can tell he's there.